Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, getting some more Season 12 Go Battle League battles, these taking place in the Great League meta. In today's video, we have a submission from a fellow PvPer of the community by the name of Keto for 2028, and he submitted quite the content for today's battles. His team comp consists of 2 Pokemon that receive new moves through the Go Battle League Season 12 move update. The main focus is going to be on Girafarig receiving Psychic Fangs, but Jumpluff also did get access to the fast move of Fairy Wind. But focusing back on Girafarig, it's a Shadow Girafarig, and the big thing about it getting access to Psychic Fangs is it now has a stab bait move that also has the potential, will definitely debuff your opponent's defense by 1 stage. So the question is, how meta and how viable will Psychic Fangs make Girafarig in some open Great League battles? Well, it's time to find out in Keto's collection of battles that he has here for us. You'll also notice the third mon on this team is Shadow Marshtomp. So Keto, thank you so much for the submission, and let's jump into the battles. And without further ado, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Also, I apologize, the proportioning of the battles is a bit odd, but I tried to squeeze in all the important facets that you need to see between, seeing the mons and, seeing his options to switch into as the battles go on. You can't really see the top left or top right of the typings, but that is what it is. Anyhow, getting into this match, you notice he had a lead. The opponent swapped in Azumarill. He then matched the opponent's Azumarill swap with his Fairy Wind Jumpluff. Fairy Wind is a Mudshot clone. We've talked about this before on the channel when we featured Galarian Weezing, because it also received the exact same fast move. It's generating energy quite quick. He's going to shield an Ice Beam that comes through. He's in an even shielding scenario. He decided to over farm there, and the Azu's able to swap out, gets met with a Drifloon, which will counter the Jumpluff. But because of Jumpluff having the Community Day move of Acrobatics, it now has a much better move to hit its opponents that hard counter it or could counter it, in terms of, being able to resist the grass damage Jumpluff would typically end up throwing, instead of only having to rely on aerials. Anyhow, he's able to take out the Drifloon with his Jumpluff. They come back in with the Azumarill. They take out his Jumpluff now with the Azumarill. He comes in with Girafarig, trying to confusion down, gets some lag, is able to swap out before going down to potential bubbles and the lag, and now gets met with the Swampert on his Shadow Marshtomp. So now the question is he going to be able to outpace, and is the Shadow Marshtomp going to be able to do enough damage with these Shadow Surfs that's going to be spamming against the Swampert? They're getting to another charge move here. It's going to be another Hydro Cannon. Will it take out the Marshtomp? Just barely holds on. He's going to throw a Surf of his own. Is this going to do enough damage to take out the Swampert's remaining health? It is not. They're both down to a little bit of HP, and he's able to Mudshot it down. The Azu comes in, and Marshtomp actually clutches the closing scenario, farming down both the Azu and the Swampert with a Mudshot apiece. What a crazy first battle there. Getting into the next one, we have the Shadow Girafarig on a Trevenant lead. This is actually a positive lead for the Girafarig, because even though it's a psychic typing, it's also a normal type, so it resists the ghost damage and will only take neutral damage from the Trevenant's grass seed bombs. So the opponent recognizes that. After a Psychic Fangs goes through that, they decide to shield. They swap into Talonflame. He comes in with his Marshtomp that's going to hard counter the Talonflame. He ends up letting a Flame Charge come through. He's going to be able to spam super effective surfs on the Talonflame. The question is, will one surf one shot? Because it is not exactly as good of a move as Hydro Cannon is on Swampert, but at least the Shadow boost to attack will help try to make up some of the difference from Marshtomp to Swampert having Hydro Cannon. He gets to another Surf there. It does take out the Talonflame's remaining health. The Trevenant comes in, and he gets to a Sludge. You'll notice he's not running Mud Bomb on his Marshtomp. He's running Sludge so he can hit grass types. In this case, it only ends up being neutral damage because of Trevenant's Ghost typing, but typically Sludge would be super effective against Ghost, which is huge. The opponent's last Pokemon is Azumarill. He's going to Psychic Fangs the Azumarill. That sounds weird, say that 10 times fast, a singular thing happening, but a plural type move. Anyhow, trying to get to the Thunderbolt in time that would take out the Azumarill's remaining health, unable to get there, but because he has an entire Jumpluff left, he's going to build all the way up to the Energy Ball, get there before the Azumarill can get to another charge move, take out the Azumarill's remaining health, and he still has the Trevenant barely alive, comes in, gets Fairy Winded down from the Jumpluff, and that ends up being GG's in match number 2. Getting into the next match, we have a Shadow Girafarig on the Talonflame lead. I have no idea how this matchup is going to go. I want to say it's positive for the Shadow Girafarig. You can see the confusions chunking. Also note that the Girafarig is not running both new moves in the form of having double kicks double kick along with Psychic Fangs. It's just running the confusion, and I personally believe that's the best way to go about it, just because I don't think double kicks is a huge upgrade to Girafarig's fast move pool, and with at least confusion it receives the stab bonus, and plus it's a good chunking move to pair with the debuff effect of Psychic Fangs when it does get to that charge move. He comes in with his Marshtomp, takes out the Talonflame, waiting to see the opponent's next Pokemon. Ends up being a Venusaur. It looks like he's not in a great alignment situation here. The opponent is staying in with their Venusaur, throwing a charge move, even though they should have the option to switch out. They then do switch out after throwing the Sludge Bomb. I guess they want to assist their Galarian Stunfisk in case they were worried the Stunfisk would not be able to handle the Jumpluff on its own, because if the Jumpluff was able to take out the Stunfisk and stay alive a little bit longer, then the Venu might have had a hard time with Jumpluff's super effective flying damage. Unfortunately, ends up getting mud shot down by the Galarian Stunfisk, and again the Galarian Stunfisk is able to finish off the job that Venusaur started. He comes back in with the Marshtomp, gets baited, not in a great spot here. Gonna need to spam some super effective surfs. Gonna want to throw a not a super effective, a neutral sludge against the Venusaur, but unfortunately neither is going to be enough. Alignment was a tough one in this match. The Galarian Stunfisk is going to Earthquake the Marshtomp, and apparently Galarian Stunfisk is a Marshtomp counter confirmed. Getting into the next match, we have the Shadow Girafarig lead against the Galarian Stunfisk. This cannot be a great matchup either, because Galarian Stunfisk is going to resist all of the charge moves and fast moves that Girafarig is throwing. Now, I guess this technically is one of those spots where double kick would help, but again, the charge moves essentially all being resisted would not be ideal still, and it's not gonna, double kick alone is not going to allow Girafarig to just flip this matchup. Then comes in with because his Girafarig goes down, Marshtomp comes in, opponent swaps in the Sceptile, and he has a hard answer for the Sceptile. It Earthquakes. Can we even call that an Earthquake? What was that damage? That was literally nothing. It is double resisted and non-stab from the Sceptile, but god damn, might as well just throw in double resisted Leaf Blades at that point, just based on the fact that at least that's stab, whereas, you know, Earthquake being ground, not getting that same type attack bonus for Sceptile there. Holy Christ, I cannot believe my eyes at how little damage that had done. But essentially, Jumpluff looks like it's going to be able to wreck the opponent's backline after Girafarig had a tough lead in this beginning matchup. He's lined up with Jumpluff on the Swampert, letting a charge move come through, recognizing it cannot be a Sludge Wave. Gonna go for almost back-to-back Energy Balls, throwing the first one here. Should get the shield. Next one will definitely one-shot the Swampert. The opponent has no idea where his Jumpluff's energy is at, so he's able to get to it quickly before the Swampert throws another move, takes out the Swampert's remaining health, and the Stunfisk comes in, lines up with the Marshtomp, and that is GG, even after losing the lead matchup. Getting into the next one, we have a Girafarig lead on the Alolan Ninetales. It's Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, so I'm gonna assume that's kind of helpful. Shadow Girafarig, because of the attack boost that it's getting from the Shadow bonus, is also losing a bit of defense because of that same Shadow bonus. So the Psy Shock, which is not the correct move, should have definitely thrown Weather Ball there, would have still definitely hurt a lot because of the fact of the Girafarig Shadow. They come in with a Registeel. He comes in with his Marshtomp to match it. The opponent shields the first move, maybe assuming that this Marshtomp is running Mud Bomb, which it's not. The only super effective damage the Marshtomp can deal to the Registeel is through the form of its mud shots. Gonna spam a bunch of neutral surfs, going to shield the next charge move, which is another focus blast coming through from the Registeel. Can these surfs add up even though they're only neutral against the Registeel? Well, the first one does more than half its remaining damage, so it's looking good. Next one will take out Registeel, either as a shield or go down. He does get the opponent's shield. Will they be able to lock on farm down before he gets to another surf? They're not able to. The next surf comes through, and Marshtomp is hard countering Registeel even without the Mud Bomb option. Leaves the scenario in a positive situation and has a shield advantage. The opponent comes in with a Seismitoad. He matches a Seismitoad with his Jumpluff, which would be a super hard counter. They come back with the Alolan Ninetales. He comes in with his Girafarig to keep the Jumpluff away from the potential super effective ice damage from the Alolan Ninetales. They come back in with the Seismitoad. He gets his Psychic Fangs off, and honestly, even with Sludge Bomb, this Seismitoad is not going to be able to take out the Jumpluff without needing two charge moves. So it's looking like GG. They threw an Earth Power, another double resisted ground move, hitting the grass flying Jumpluff here. An Energy Ball will take out its remaining health, and that ends up being GG's there. I think this is the 6th match and the final match of the collection of battles that Keto had sent so far. I'm really enjoying them. Girafarig honestly popping off, and I'm loving how fast Girafarig is getting to the Psychic Fangs. I feel like it's a solid spice option. It's relatively viable. I would not see this as meta or meta defining in open Great League battles, but you know what, at least it can scare some of the ghosts like Alola Marowak here, and in the form of Trevenant, which is a huge player in open Great League battles, as we know. So at least it can maybe scare them or catch them off guard from time to time. The opponent safe swaps into another great mon, or another mon that became great from the Go Battle League move update in the form of Double. He stays in with his Girafarig, going for the Confusion down, almost survives all the double kicks because they're neutral damage from the double to Confusion down, gets the double down, say that 10 times fast, to 1 HP. Jump off comes in to Fairy Wind down. They did get off a payback, which was an interesting move to throw there. Should have probably just went for the body slam, unless they couldn't get 2 off and they knew they were only going to get 1 move off. So you know what, maybe not the worst play on their part. Then his Marshtomp comes in and he gets a taste of his own medicine by going up against an opposing Jumpluff, and unfortunately throws the wrong move in the form of Surf because it's resisted by the Jumpluff's grass damage. Also, you'll notice this Jumpluff is throwing Bullet Seeds, which are going to be double super effective against Marshtomp, so even harder walling in here. This situation is not looking great for Keto, and does not look like he's going to be able to pull out the dub here. They do have a 2 shield to 1 shield advantage. He would need to essentially Fairy Wind all the way down. He decides to shield in Acrobatics. Can he Fairy Wind down before they get to another charge move? And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. So this is going to be GG's in the final match. Girafarig did what it could, but unfortunately the alignment in the back was not ideal for his team comp. Keto, thank you so much for submitting these battles. I genuinely enjoyed watching Girafarig in some open Great League Go Battle League battles. YouTube comment section, I was going to call you chat, so used to streaming on Twitch. Please let me know your thoughts on the battles, and shout out Girafarig in the comment section below. It was a small sample size. Again, I'm trying to get you as many battles with as many of the new updated mons, so sometimes they're going to be shorter videos, a little more bite-sized, so you can get a little appetizer, get an idea of what these new mons can and can't do. Shout out Girafarig, definitely got buffed from it receiving Psychic Fangs, just not enough to become, you know, main meta, but it seems like a cool spice option for some occasional success, like was already stated. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you all in the next video. Preach.